Yeah, but that's what he pointed out to me. And then I was like, all right, cool.
That's
but it's
so
just so
awful.
But I didn't.
That's very bad.
It's not that bad.
Do you know what I'm saying? He knows I love him.
I don't like saying it all the time.
The thing is, if I don't say I love you back, like it's a conscious decision.
Yeah, that's not the same thing.
Like if I was in a relationship and he pissed me off and he said, "But I love you," I would hang up.
Hi everybody and welcome to another episode of the Tried It podcast, where we discuss all things from millennial struggles to relationships and love and everything in between. I'm Jade.
I'm Maya.
I'm Kadisha. Look, you're so distracted by your foolishness.
Yeah, no, I'm distracted by you looking at me.
No.
Because I know you're going to be looking this
Gosh.
week.
Yeah, because last week, it wasn't until I was like,
Editing.
I did all of the stuff and I was like, what the hell is this girl doing? And because I'm next to you, I don't ever look. I'm looking into the camera, so I missed it.
All right, go.
How is everyone?
Good. Well,
So-
I mean, it's shitty winter, isn't it? But it's Christmas,
come
so
on.
it's good.
Exactly. You like Christmas.
So today is Boxing Day.
Yeah.
Go shopping?
Were you really happy about your presents yesterday?
Oh my! Like these lot, it's so hard to get them along to play along with me. But obviously, you guys are hearing this on Boxing Day, and we've actually not had Christmas yet. It's actually Monday. But who's excited for Christmas?
Me.
You are.
I said that so like me.
Really?
Yeah, no, I'm excited because like I've got really nice gifts for everybody, and I'm just excited for everyone to open them and just like enjoy what they've got and just see my nephew. Like he still believes in Santa this year, so I like to see him getting excited as well. Got some family coming over, so I'm excited for the food, making some vegan mushroom Wellington. My mouth is like watering as I'm saying
Oh
it.
my
Like I'm just excited. It's gonna be so tasty and we got loads of board games as well, so I'm excited for those.
Good, yeah.
Oh, that's yeah.
Were any of them
the other day,
inspired
Jade
by-
messaged me and she was
Oh,
like, "What's that
really?
game we played at your winter warmer?" And I was like, "That's sweet."
I had to.
Literally,
It was
that
lit.
game's so fun. I can't wait to have a games night. I'm gonna have one in January.
Yeah.
Not January, in the new year. I don't want to overcommit
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah, board games are the one, you know.
Yeah, games
I
nights
love
are lit.
board games.
And do you know what's so cute when you just mentioned Santa? My cousin's son said to me 2 days ago, "Kadisha, why don't you have a tree in your house?" And I was like, "Why should I?" And he was like, "Because where's Santa going to put your gifts?" And I was like, "Oh, he's 5." And I was like, "Oh, of course."
That's
I was
so
like,
cute.
"Don't worry, he leaves them in my letterbox."
Oh, that is so
Literally,
cute.
I get nothing. I was about to swear, but I get nothing.
That is
Yeah.
so lovely.
Isn't it so cute?
Yeah. Just because you were asking before about acupuncture, why are you wanting it?
Okay, for everyone that doesn't know, before we started recording, I was asking if these lot have had acupuncture, and they both have, which I was very surprised about. I've been wanting to do it for a little bit, but I just, the thought of just...
Needles.
Oh yeah,
for
it does
fun.
creep you
And
out.
because I know that they put it into like specific spots. Knowing me, I will jerk and be paralysed.
But you
No,
have
it's not that
tattoos.
deep. It's just
You've got tattoos. That
I
must
can't
be
jerk
painful.
and be paralysed.
Yeah, but the actual act of a...
It's not
Thing.
about... No, because...
it's
I
not
just,
that deep to make you jerk. It's just like a tiny little pinch on the edge of your skin. It's not that deep to make your muscle like whoa.
Oh, okay.
The more
Yeah.
pain is when
I'm
it's
just
in.
shook, yeah. So, but I seen a Groupon deal and it was like 30-minute massage and acupuncture. And I thought, oh, normally it's like the price for one or the other, not both. So I was considering it.
I wouldn't say it was relaxing to me, to be fair. I
I
didn't
wouldn't
enjoy
say you should
it.
get it from Groupon.
But did your body feel better?
No, I didn't feel any
afterwards?
difference.
No.
I was just like, what happened?
Mine was
Oh.
because I had I've always had like congested until I
You
stopped
had it in your
having,
nose?
No,
Oh.
until I stopped having dairy, I was always really, really congested. Like I
Yeah.
could never. I would like with a nose thing, and then I did it, and she did it in like
In
my
your shin?
shin.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, it's
'Cause
so
the
weird how
pressure
everything's
point
connected.
There, it was there or something, and then she did it there, and I was like, oh yeah, I didn't even notice it going in, and then I flexed my foot a bit, and I could still feel the pain. It was like
Oh
the most
no,
pain.
I was literally
felt like my
couldn't dare
muscle moved, like ripped or something. But I had no problems with my nose for like a good
Oh, that's
3
all right then.
weeks after.
That's all right, because you don't
Good
use
You
your
just
shin.
don't move when they're doing the acupuncture.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
is what
yeah.
this is what I just said. So they're gonna put it in, and I'm gonna, knowing me, move somehow, or I don't know. I just I don't know. I might.
But
wait
if you're
till
gonna do it, take it
2021.
serious. Don't do it in Groupon. Do it from a proper place that know that they're all trained in that, because they'll know about the pressure points. That's the
Do you
most
think
important bit.
Groupon's the people acupuncturing you?
I think they're just throwing it in.
No,
Like
Groupon is like. Do you know what Groupon is?
obviously, but I'm just saying. Yeah, fair enough. Obviously, I know it's going to be reputable, but I just think that just if you're
Yeah,
interested in doing
a lot
it,
of
do it
times
from
if
that
they're
So
on
I must pay
Groupon, it's
£100
because they've
instead
got-
of 24 because.
If you want to, yeah. If you want it, if you're serious about it, yeah.
But how would it? How would I know if they're any more or less reputable?
You won't know, but your results will be different.
But how would I know unless I do it?
because you're gonna have to pay for the comparison. You'll have to pay to get the Groupon one, which would be £24, and then you may pay for the real one and be like, oh, I should have done this in the first place.
Debatable.
And we'll leave that there.
If you buy a Dior scarf in Debenhams for £24, is it still Dior?
Yeah.
Well
it's
then,
not getting inserted into your body. All right, let's just move on.
Okay.
Go on.
Right. So anyway, I hope everyone had a lovely Christmas. And yeah, we're still here. We made it. Like,
we're actually not having a day off.
we're actually not. I know.
But it's
Sad.
good because
I'm
they
tired.
just fell on those days, innit? The
Yeah,
Mondays have
they've just
been,
fallen on the days.
It's what it is. You can know about us.
Yeah. So today, what's the topic, Jade?
So today on this episode, we wanted to just go over some personality tests and things like that. So we all put in the group chat. Well, I think Maya put in the group chat a while ago, actually, this personality test. Well, it was like a love language test, wasn't it? Or something like...
It's basically showing about how you love, and it's taken from the book I read, The Unexpected Joy of Being Single, which I've not stopped plugging since I've read it. But honestly, it's that good. You should all read it. And I'm going to bring it to you at some point for you to read too.
Yeah.
And there's like three types that you could be.
Yep.
Do you know what they were?
An avoidant,
Mhm.
where you avoid relationships, etc., etc. A anxious attached, where you you're attached to people in an anxious kind of way, but you may not realize that those signs are actual anxious attached signs. You might just think that's how you love. And secure attached.
What were you guys? Tell me your scores. Spill the beans.
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay. So my avoidant was like 1. I was not an avoidant.
One?
Okay.
The lowest it could be.
Wow.
Not 1, maybe 10. What was the lowest it could be?
I don't know. I think it could be like if you just put 0 for everything, you could put 0 for everything.
Literally.
That's
Mine was like
not.
one of them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I was very
okay.
low on avoidant.
Really?
Damn.
My up there was secure attached. I was very high on secure attached. I wasn't high on anxious attached, but I didn't think I would even get any on that. But I did get some. Like things about like, would you panic if your partner was with good looking people of the opposite sex on a work trip? I was like, yes. On some level. Not like the full 10 or whatever it is, but I was definitely like an 8 or something. And it's interesting because I did it with my boyfriend. I did it on myself before, but I didn't really read it. I just skimmed it. And it's a lot of maths, like you said. You've got to add it up and it's a long thing. So just doing it on my own, I wasn't very motivated. But when I did him first, it motivated me to do me first because he was like, oh, let's see yours, let's see yours. And it was interesting because you can see how different. And there was one which was like, sometimes I will put off my plans for the weekend to
make plans with your significant other.
Yeah, but I won't even check with the significant other.
Yeah, you'll just hope that they will make
exactly.
plans with you.
And mine for that was like, he was like, oh, put one, because I never do that. But he actually does that.
Oh.
I know, but then he's like, yeah, how out of order that you don't do that. But I don't see that as out of order because it doesn't make any logical sense. You haven't even checked with me. Do you know what I mean? You haven't checked that I'm free.
How dare you?
But you haven't checked that I'm free and you're assuming. And that makes no sense. Why
I guess
would you
it's the
just
idea
hope?
that like it's the weekend, you'd want to spend a day with your partner.
Yeah, but then voice
Yeah.
that. Obviously, voice that. Then do you know what I mean? If that's your ideal, then be like,
Or
oh,
you could just be free.
I probably would be, but it's just I'm not going to assume that you're going to wait and then work on that like silent language. Let's talk about it.
I get you.
No.
Okay, so we didn't actually give any context of the damn quiz. So it's like a list of, so it's got the 3 attachment types and then it's got a list of questions and then you're supposed to number yourself for each question between 1 and 10. 1 being, I don't do that, and then 10 being, that is me.
Yeah.
And then add them all up for the scores that you get for each question, for each attachment type, and then whichever scores the highest is the one that you are. Okay, so...
Can I say another thing?
Go on.
Another one was you find it easy to be friends with exes. And blah, blah, blah. And then he was like, put 10. And I was like, oh my God. And his was like really low. And he was like, yeah, don't think that. But it was good because he saw that that's actually a sign of being secure.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I think for men especially, I'm not to say that, you know, but for men especially, you being friends with your ex is like, oh my God, you must be fucking like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the fact that you can actually be like, no, like it's not that. It doesn't bother me that other person's moving on doing well. And I can actually be their friend and it's not a biggie.
I think it can mean that, but it can also mean...
True, but it will mean that if you actually are happy for them if they're moving on or whatever. If you're still like pissed off every time they get a new partner, then obviously...
But your new partner would never know what your desires are. Do you know what I mean?
True. But surely your actions would show it. Do you know what I mean? I just feel like if you're going to be
You have to have
talking
trust
about
in a
that person...
relationship.
True. But anyway, I think it was good because from that, I don't think he's even aware of it, but he's actually like started to look at a few things and be like, oh.
Yeah,
know
it's
what I mean?
good to see, like, because I
Aw.
guess if you don't even know what a secure proper
Totally,
relationship should look like,
totally.
at least this kind of pinpoints out some things as like healthy kind of
Totally,
feelings
totally.
that you might have thought were bad, but
Yeah.
actually.
And where secure and anxious attached comes from is when you're really young, which goes into your point about how it all comes back to parenting. When you're really young, when your mother would leave the room as a baby, you would scream because you'd think she's not coming back.
Oh.
So that is linked to how you feel about when you're in a relationship, because obviously your attachment to that person is, oh my God, if you don't call me, you don't love me. If you don't, do you know what I mean? All of that. So yeah, it makes sense. And another thing as well is avoidant, which you may not know, guys. It says it in the book, but the avoidant person, like a type A avoidant, they are so attracted to a anxious attached. And an anxious attached
is it because they
attached
like
to them.
making kind of people feel a bit anxious and stuff?
Exactly. And then the anxious attached is attached to them, and they love that because they are obsessed with
Kind of
like the
feed off that,
mysterious, like I'm not interested in you kind of person.
Oh no.
It's like people loving what they like shouldn't have. You know what I
Exactly,
mean?
because you're normally feeling that way as a result of how you've been loved by like parents and like early relationships. So if a woman, for example, hasn't, this is what she said in the book as well, if a female hasn't had a good relationship with her dad, for example, you get a nice guy and you'll be bored within the first few months or whatever. Whereas a bad boy who doesn't treat you nicely, you're like, oh my God, I love a bit of that. Because you think
triggered.
Because you think, but you might think, I don't know about you, but you might think it's because that's all I know or whatever. But it's actually because that's what you feel safest with.
Yeah, I thought it's because you haven't had a good
experienced-
example of what a man should treat a woman like.
Yeah, but true.
Yeah, that as well.
An example though, you can look at an example and you can be like, okay, but I saw the result of that, which was meant my mum was really, really hurt, so I'm not gonna go down that road. But if you've actually not experienced that love, you can't recognize that. So when you recognize it in a form of a nice guy, you actually take it as a threat and an attack, because you're like, I don't know what this is.
It's like,
this
what's
is really,
wrong? Like,
this is different for me. So I need to go for what I know, which is whatever that is.
That's
Good book. So I've been plugging it.
Yeah, I need to read that. What about you, Kadisha? What'd you get?
So I literally did my quiz about an hour ago, and it's funny because when I was going through the questions, I'm just going to read out a couple of examples from each
Very
one.
good.
Yeah,
Thank God.
because I did mine so long ago. I'm struggling to remember.
When I was,
and I knew it would really make you think raw, and you'd write notes about it because it would actually shock you.
I mean, I didn't write notes, but because I did it an hour ago, it's still in my mind. So the avoidant one, so I did it. So the order that it comes in is avoidant, anxious, then secure. So while I was going through the avoidant questions, I was like, okay, this is me. This is me. Oh, wow. Yeah, 10. And then I was
10!
like, I'm avoidant. And then when I got to the end, I was like, well, that's a high score. Because I didn't know how, that was the first one. So I didn't know how high it could get.
Until you went on to the next.
And then I went to the next one and it went up to like the hundreds. And I was
man, that's high.
Yeah.
That's
not really, because 10, it's like about
it's out of 10.
how many questions
there's
there are.
about 10 questions.
Yeah, so it's like you put 10 for all 10.
No, there's more. I think there's more than 10 questions. I think there's about 15 questions.
Okay.
And there's a max of 10. So if you put 10, 10,
Okay,
yeah,
That's
there is a lot of questions.
but still, yeah.
So when I got to the next one and I was like super high, I was like, flipping hell. So now I'm not avoiding, I'm anxious. So what am I anxious about? And then the last one, I was like, that won't be me, which I thought this would be you, because just from the way that you talk secure, I thought mine would be secure. Is that what you was? Yeah. Okay. And
What
then
did you think I would be?
Anxious.
I thought you'd be avoidant.
All right, carry on.
Sorry, I asked.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, secure, I'm not going to get any. Funny as well, because the way that the questions are worded, some of it's past tense, some of it's present tense, and some of it mentions partner, some of it mentions just someone. So the way that you're answering it is, oh, this is how I am with everybody. This is how I am with my partner. This is how I used to be. Confusing when you're answering the questions because it keeps taking you back and forth.
Yeah,
Do you know what I
that's
mean?
what I had to keep
You're not
thinking
staying
now.
on a steady
Which is
path.
why it's a good.
Yeah,
quiz.
so that's why I probably scored in the other. That's probably why I scored. So mine's quite balanced, to be fair.
Okay.
And that's probably why, because
We all have
I used to
aspects
be-
of all, really.
I used to be one way. Like I've been in, I'd say, 2 serious relationships and then 1 semi-serious situationship. And I was a different person in all 3 of those. So when I'm answering these questions, I'm like, okay, which example am I pulling from? Do you know what I mean? As to how I am now. So I've been single for a hot minute. Now I'm different to how I was in the last situation. Do you know what I mean? Because from what I've learned and taken from that, I know to be a different way now. So am I answering it how I am now? I might say how I was then. I might say how I was 2 years ago. And then it just got a bit confusing. So
Yeah, that's tricky.
oh yeah. So I think my answers are probably a bit skew-if, but I wrote it on paper because I'm old-fashioned.
I hate that term, skew-if.
Did I just say that?
Yeah. No, it's good that you said it, but I do hate it.
Really?
Yeah.
Did I just say that?
Yeah. Yes.
I was thinking, what the hell is that? What is that?
I was about to say you said that,
Oh.
but I definitely came out of my
Oh
mouth.
my God.
It's been a long day.
Skew-if.
Yeah, so for the avoidant one, I got 89.
That's not mad high, but it's high if you
What
weren't
was your
expecting
highest
yourself
That was the first
secure.
one I did.
Yeah, but how high did you get? What one?
Oh, like 100 and something.
That was the
Wow.
first one I did
Yeah.
for avoidant. And then the second one I did, which was anxious, I got 109.
Yeah.
Shit.
And then
That's
for
pretty
secure, I got 124.
Okay.
No,
And I
so
feel like
even.
that's because like
Your
literally,
current might be
I feel
secure.
like the order that they are is like the order that my life has gone in.
Yeah.
So when I was saying I pull from, I'm still going to give some examples. The way that the questions are worded, that's how I was like, I don't know. It's like it put me in chronological order of like how I've been. So probably now at this point now, being single, knowing what I want and whatever, I am probably now secure.
Yep.
Which as well comes from my last episode when I was saying I do everything for myself now and I try and put myself first and blah, blah, blah.
My non-secure,
Mm.
my anxious attached was like still like about 50.
50, that's low.
Yeah, but I'm saying like numbers, they sound high.
Right.
But what
it's
was you
still-
giving? Like 2s and 3s?
Yeah, and like 5s max.
I
7.
mean, my
I was
lowest
trying to
was
stay away from
22
5
and-
because 5 is like
but
indifferent.
you've got to remember, I
24.
feel like mine was pretty accurate because I was sitting with the person
Mm.
who would tell me about myself the most.
Oh, but
So-
I was seeing the number because I also wrote the numbers out like at the top.
Mm.
Sorry. So I was literally looking like, where do I fit on this slider?
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's what I was doing as well.
And then and I was seeing it as though 5 and so earlier before we decided on which test to do, I found a test online and I got through the whole thing. It took me 15 minutes and then it wanted £3 from me, so I didn't pay it.
Oh,
But
I
that
hate when
one
they
was
do
like
that.
agree, strongly agree, disagree, that type of format. So that's
Yeah.
how I was trying to imagine doing
Yeah,
this
that's
one
what
Sure,
I
yeah,
did as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
with the numbers.
I didn't realise, this is one of the examples as well,
Mm.
that one of the questions was you like doing things for other people. You like other people depending on you and you like to depend on other people.
Yeah.
And my boyfriend is like one for that. He hates, if I was like, it's all on you, you are my happiness,
Yeah.
he would be like, I'm breaking up with you. He would hate that.
Oh, that means you're a
And-
perfect couple though, because
But
like that's
I
works well
love
for you
to
guys.
depend on people and I love
Really?
people to depend on me. Not as for my happiness, that's a bad example.
Okay.
But things like, if you say you're going to do that, I need to
Oh,
know you're
right,
going to
yeah,
do that. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
But
yeah.
he's not like, he wouldn't even ask. He'd be like, no, I'm doing it myself.
Yeah.
And it's so funny that he realised that that is actually an insecurity because you think that because you don't think people are going to come through. Whereas I believe people will come through. And that's why I'm like, yeah, she can do that. He can do that. Do you know what I mean? It was great. I would recommend always doing one of those kind
Yeah,
of
that's
tests
a good
with a
idea.
person.
Yeah.
Because you can teach them about yourself and you're not the one they can diss because it's not your fault.
Mm.
It's not. I didn't tell her to write it, did I? It's not my quiz.
That's funny. Okay, so a couple of examples from the avoidance section. The finality of commitment scares you. So that means getting with somebody and that's it. Like, that's who you're with. Nobody
Yeah.
else. That would scare some people off thinking, oh my God, I'm just going to be with you. That to me is like, I want it to be final. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be living my life every year into a new relationship. Before you know it, I'm 54. No thanks. Your independence is your most prized asset. So that to me was like a 10.
Mm.
Probably how I got 89 on that. You're a little relieved when you see your partner eyeing up other people.
Oh, hell no.
Jesus. Why are you smiling?
It's weird that some people
'Cause you're
think that
being
though.
Oh,
Do you
I
think
can
that? What did you
never-
put for that?
You know when people are like, oh, I get
Zero.
a bit turned
too.
on by
It's
seeing
Actually,
my
do you know
part-
what? Do you know why I think my numbers are so high? Because I didn't give any zeros. I used 1 as the lowest.
Yeah,
Oh,
same.
right. Oh, I
Yeah.
would put 0.
I didn't
if
give
I
any
really
zeros.
strongly
I
disagreed.
I don't think you can ever strongly disagree unless it was like I enjoy watching my partner have sex with someone. Then it would be 0. But unless it's
That
other
one I
things-
put 0. Oh yeah, I like it when they freaking look
Oh,
at someone
yeah,
else.
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
0.
Yeah,
Oh.
but that's like a
I just put
one-off.
ones.
There weren't many big ones like that. Did you put 1 for that?
I used 1 as 0. Like I didn't use 0. I just used 1 as like
Oh,
absolutely
okay.
not. Okay. And a couple
Wait,
of
wait, well, I'm sorry. I just remembered.
Go on.
But you know what we were just saying? So don't you think it's boys? Like boys care boys are the ones that like people to look at their girl and be like, yeah.
I haven't.
check it out.
I cannot relate to that because
Do you know what?
My ex
any
used to be like
boy-
that. It was weird. He's like when people would look
That's
at you
secure
or like
then.
whistle at me
It's
or
funny
beep
that
at
you
me.
said
Like he
that
would like,
because
be like,
I was watching 90 Day Fiance
I
yesterday.
was like, what the fuck?
did you hear what she said?
Did you?
No, I heard, did you say
Like
beep
if people
me?
used to
Yeah.
look at me or like beep at me or like
wink.
whatever, whistle, whatever. Do you know what I mean? If you're walking someone's stairs, like he would like that because he'd be like, yeah, like that's my girl that's staring at you. I'd be like,
Wow.
God.
That's a bit possessive. That's a bit
yeah,
Do you think that's possessive?
Yes,
you
it
Tarzan,
is.
you
It's-
Janish.
yeah, it is.
I was watching 90 Day Fiance yesterday, and this guy was going to a Halloween party with his new fiance that's just come from Colombia or something. And
That's gonna be next after love after look up for sure.
this isn't that one though. This is like 90 days post something.
Yeah, no, it's still equally
I'm
brilliant.
watching all of them now. And she was like dressed as like an Egyptian goddess. And he was like, it's good. I want you to look sexy so that when we're in the party, everyone can know like you're mine. Like I brought you from Colombia and now you're here with me and you're mine.
God,
And I was like,
ownership.
yeah, literally. So it's
And I
funny
feel
that
like,
you just said that.
That's how I feel like they think.
Really?
That's frightening. No, thank you. Scary. Okay, so a couple of examples from
I
Anxious.
wish I could get to that stage.
Can I read?
Sorry, go on.
Okay, so you find it hard to believe that people truly love you. You often quiz them on this point for reassurance.
I'd see when I heard this one, I don't be like, do you love me? Do you love me? Do you love me? But I like to hear like my love language is words of affirmation. So I just like to hear like how you're feeling about me. Like, why
Yeah.
do you like me? Like,
Yeah.
be vocal about how you feel.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a mind reader. If you like me, tell me. Do you know what I mean?
Agree.
I
But
struggle with that. Hearing it.
what,
Because-
really?
Not because I don't believe it.
Like, a lot of people are like
So
that.
wait,
It's
if your
true. A lot of
boyfriend
people
never
don't
said
like,
like
to hear
love
that.
you think, oh, but I know he loves me anyway.
Do you know what's funny? We had a minor disagreement about this the other day.
Oh God.
Because he was like, the past 5 days, because normally like if we were like,
Oh my
okay,
God, did he say you didn't say I love you back?
Yeah.
Oh my God, Maya, why do you torture
But
him
I
like
don't.
this?
It's not that he's not been like, I love you, Maya. He's just like, all right, bye, I love you. And I'd be like, yeah, bye.
But the
because
fact that
I
he's
see that as a
noticed that
goodbye.
No.
Yeah, but that's what he pointed out to me. And then I was like, all right, cool.
That's
but it's
so
just so
awful.
But I didn't. It's
That's
not,
very
it
bad.
doesn't
It's
mean.
not that bad.
Do you know
It's
what I'm
not that
saying?
bad.
He
It is.
knows I love
I
him.
don't like saying
wasn't
it all the
that.
time.
It
The
was
thing is,
just
if I don't say I love you back, like it's a conscious decision.
yeah, that's not the same.
Yeah.
for me.
Like if I was in a relationship and he pissed me off and he said, "Bye, I love you," I would hang up.
Yeah, I do that too. If I'm angry, but he knows.
But
that,
if you
though.
do it all the time, how's he supposed to know
But
you're
he didn't
angry?
exactly. That's what he was saying. He was like, I'm just like a bit like, is something? I was like, not.
I do
just
say
didn't
I love
even
you back,
know.
but I
I'm
don't like
sorry,
saying
I
it all
just
the
didn't even
time.
know.
Every time I feel I love you, but I'm just not someone that
It
says that a
devalues
lot.
it. It devalues it. If you're
Yeah.
saying it as a goodbye,
Yeah.
then it's a goodbye.
Oh
How?
yeah, I do agree with that.
How does it devalue it?
Because you're saying it all the time.
But you don't only feel love for 8 hours a day and then you turn it off and then
True.
you got to wait till the
True,
next.
but do you
you
know
got to
what
wait
I
till
will
your
do?
next period of time to say it.
I will randomly, like, sometimes at like different points of the day, if I'm feeling like especially, I'll just be like, oh, I love you. Like, I'll text
Yeah,
him.
just
or
be like, you know,
something.
I really love
So you know that
just
it's
this
not-
like a
it's
moment.
not-
Do you
Yeah.
believe that life is short?
Yeah,
Do you believe that every conversation could be your last?
I forget that, but
But it's not going to be that last conversation
You
that's
don't
going to
know
be.
that. You could say,
it's
yeah,
all the
bye,
conversations
step
they've
out into the
had.
road
It's
and
gonna
get
be how they
hit
made
by a
you
bus.
feel.
Oh my god,
You don't know. Like, I just feel like you
What a fun
really
story.
need to tell the people that you love them.
Yeah.
Even if it means just saying, yeah, love you, bye. Do you know
Yes,
what I mean?
I know, and I'm consciously doing that. Thank you, Kadisha.
Okay,
But
good.
I was just saying that, yeah, to get on your point is funny because that whole love, hearing it, and
Yeah.
then someone was to constantly tell me like, oh my god, you're so amazing. Da, 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 da. As much as I think I would like that, when it does actually happen, I'm just like, oh, shut up. You know what I mean?
That
Yeah.
means that you can't take compliments.
I can though, because you've
But
seen me. I
this,
say thank
is
you.
not saying compliments. This
Exactly.
is saying reassurance.
That's what I'm saying, and I just feel like I don't need reassurance that much. I really don't. I need it in terms of things that I'm not sure about. But if I'm sure that you love me, I don't need to hear that all the time.
So, if he never said you look nice, you wouldn't care.
He doesn't really sound nice that much. No, every now and then he will, and I'm like,
So,
oh,
if you've
thanks.
made an effort to look nice, and he doesn't say
Yeah,
anything,
but I'm not doing
But
it
you
for
actually,
him.
you said last week, he's like, I've changed my hair, my eyebrows, or something.
Exactly.
Yeah, but you wanted him to say something
Yeah.
to
fair
reassure
enough.
you that
Yeah.
he sees you.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, if I've gone to effort, but for me, I see it as like,
Well,
if
it didn't
he
say
doesn't say
daily.
it,
It just
Yeah,
said
yeah,
mutual
fair enough.
assurance.
Yeah, if I have gone to effort, I would like it. But I see it as like if you don't say it, someone else is gonna. Not necessarily a man,
Yeah.
not necessarily a man, but just someone in
but-
my everyday will be like, oh, da, da, da. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'd feel more
But
pleasure
you'd want it from the person that you're like sharing a bed
you
with.
or Jade saying it. To be honest,
Really?
yeah.
I don't know how I feel about
I
that.
don't like my partner to talk too much about like how you
Looks.
look or whatever. I
Yeah.
just would prefer you don't say
Not
that because
like,
then
not like comment
That's
on
the
your looks
only
like
thing that makes you-
Yeah, no,
yeah.
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
God,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
not like that. But just like a random, I really
guess it's-
appreciate you.
No, I do.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
do like it because even the other day I came back and I had makeup
Oh, now
on.
she likes it.
Yeah, it's true. I had makeup on and my face was itching. And I was like, right, I'm going to take this off because I only kept it on so you could see it. And you've seen it now. So I'm going to take it off.
So
And he's like, oh
romantic.
yeah, I forgot to say, you actually look really nice. It was really nice, blah, blah, blah. So I suppose I do. But
Yeah.
it's not a thing where it's a need.
See.
But it's not a need. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
If I've gone
You
and
would have been
dressed up,
at least a 5 on that score.
yeah, I must have put like a
Exactly.
5. I didn't put like a 1 for that. That's like
You're
a
talking
5.
like you would have put a 1.
No, but I'm just trying to reiterate that if I'm looking nice, I'm doing it for me. I'm not doing it for him to say you look nice because I will know I look nice from when I look in the mirror. Because I know when I don't look nice. I know when I don't look nice. Right now, I don't look nice. I know that.
gonna
But
ask you,
I
are you
know when I
cold?
do. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so you've been known to triple call, triple text when you get no response.
I do. I don't give a shit. I'll not call, not triple call. I don't call bare times. And it's not a message like, have you replied yet? Hello, like, where are you? Not like that. But just like, if I have something to say and like, I see something funny and like, you didn't reply earlier, I'm still sending you something funny. Like, I
Yeah.
don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not
This
putting my
one
pride
was
in the
extremely
way.
funny to me because in my last relationship, I'll never forget, I was at my cousin's house and just before I went there, I had a massive argument with my boyfriend. Don't ask me what about because I don't remember. But it was just like arguments all the way on the train going to her house. When I got there, he stopped picking up the phone because we argued all the way there. She lived in Lincoln. That was far.
Oh my
So when I
God.
got there, he stopped picking up the phone. And
Oh,
I remember
shit.
I left him 84 missed calls.
Oh, fuck.
I wish we were friends
And on
because
the
I wouldn't
80
let you do that.
And on the 84th call, he'd like,
Blocked you.
because it was ringing and he was hanging up 84
Oh,
times.
what?
He didn't turn his phone off.
Well,
That is
no, this-
horrible.
Yeah, well, and then on the 84th one, it just went straight to voicemail, and I was going
Oh,
beside
no.
myself. Then I started texting. Okay, you want to turn your phone off? Yeah. Blah, blah,
Oh
blah.
my God.
And I
I've
just
been there,
remember
though.
I was so crazy, and I've never
It's
done
true,
that
but
before.
it's when someone pushes you
I've
that
never
far.
lost myself
You
like
just
that
go
before.
nuts.
And like I was like seething for about 2 hours, and then afterwards I was like, I'm not even enjoying the time with my cousin. Like this is not the be all and end all of life. And I was just like, and we ended up going out, me and my cousin, to try and like take my mind off it and stuff. And then when I'm getting ready to go out, that's when he decides to call me, and I was like, oh, okay, now you want to pick up, and there was a big argument again. And I just remember when I got back home, I was like, don't ever do that again. Like ever in your life, don't ever call somebody more than twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe 3 times, but don't ever like just that's because you might be dead. But
Yeah,
like
yeah.
don't ever call, and not in a row either. Give it
Trust
like
me.
15-20 minutes, but don't ever do that again. And like literally, I just every time I think about that moment, it just takes me to a really bad place because I can't believe 84 times.
I'm so
That's-
sorry
must have
someone had you
taken-
doing
yeah,
that.
it's true.
Especially how I know you now. I can't imagine it. So to
Literally,
think of you like
this
that
was
would have just
how
been-
when was this? This was like 2016, I think.
What
Yeah, this is a while
wanker.
ago. But yeah, I know. Anyway,
Yeah, my one, before you read out any more questions, let me just say my one quickly and then we carry on.
Yes.
But
Bit from
my
bloody
I was
Why?
giving
lives.
examples so that when you gave yours, because we don't know what you
Yeah,
are.
I know. I didn't write down any examples because I did it so long ago, I can't remember. So this is good to kind of refresh my memory. But like, so for the first one, I got 24. Oh, sorry. So for the first one, I got 24. So that was
Avoidant.
quite low.
24? Oh, but you was giving zeros.
Yeah.
Because I got 89, so don't know.
6. I only wrote something on 7 of them, put a number for 7 of them, the rest was 0.
Really?
Yeah. And then for the second one, I got 22. So it was like 1 0 1 0 1 4. Like
For
it was
insecure
kind of,
attached.
yeah.
Out of 10?
Yeah.
There's not much that
very
bothers her. There
laid
is not
back.
much that
like,
bothers
I'm
her, let's
actually
be
very
honest.
laid back. As long
Yeah.
as I know that you like care about me and you're giving me words of affirmation, like I don't mind if we don't talk that often. If you
Yeah.
like, we just message once a day or whatever. As long as when I do see you, it is quality time and it's good.
Yeah.
Like
You can tell
I
from
don't-
even being like a friend with you that you're not very high in maintenance.
yeah, I
At all.
feel like
There's not much that can really fuck you
Yeah.
up. I don't think I've ever seen you
I
pissed
feel
I've
like
seen you pissed off, but not even when you're pissed off, you're still like,
yes.
what can we do?
It takes so much for me to be really mad now. Like before, back in the day, like maybe I would be like get mad about things, but now
God,
it really would take something like it would take.
Literally.
Don't bring it back up.
Go and listen back to 2 episodes ago.
As if it should say nothing.
And you must have thought, why is Maya being so quiet? And I didn't get it, but now I do. Thank you.
Oh my God. Let's
Bad
not
guy
go there.
Jade.
Oh,
Yes.
don't remind me. No, I'm joking. Anyways. But yeah, so I'm very chill. So I'm not surprised that I kind of got low on that one. But yeah, and then the last one I got 68. So I thought that was a high score in comparison to others. But listening to like you guys getting like over 100, I'm thinking like, well, what the hell am I then?
This is
I
what
don't
I don't
know.
understand. I don't understand because I feel like you probably are laid back, but if you had all of these things that it's asking, you would like and appreciate it. Does that make sense?
What do you mean?
So you're content right now with what you don't have because we're both single, right?
Yeah.
So you're probably answering a lot of your questions from where you are now because you changed it since
Well,
the
I
past.
just came out of like
A
a situationship recently, and I did base off of that as well. And even I was thinking about in my past relationship as well. And yeah, I think I've kind of always, obviously now I'm different to how I was before, but I think as a general, I've kind of
I'm gonna try and catch you out. Hold on.
yeah, go on.
Okay. So you are comfortable with confiding your partner with your innermost thoughts.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I overshare. People
She
tell me
tells
I
me a lot.
overshare.
Was that a 10 then? Because you said 100%.
Oh, what is wrong with me?
Oh,
Sorry. Wait, which one was this? The second. This is just anxious because I wrote down what I got for each
No,
thing.
this is
isn't it?
secure.
Secure. I thought no. Wait, this is why I've done it wrong. I thought no, it only went up to 5. I did it up to 5 from 0 to 5.
Oh,
Why did
my
you do
God.
that?
I don't know.
Why did you do that?
Jade,
I
you
don't
had
know.
one job.
Obviously,
All you have to do is double the scores.
Yeah. Fair. Okay, fine. Okay, no, that's fine. So for the first one, because I didn't think we were going to
Doesn't
talk about the
Just
individual
go,
scores.
Just go,
Okay, so for the first one, then I would have got 48. For the second one, 44. And for the last one,
130.
116.
Did you get 100?
136. Yeah, 136.
Okay.
That's higher than mine. Damn.
Okay, so now this makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, no, I'm with it
Jesus.
now.
But then it might have not been doubled. Because
Huh?
instead of being like going from a 5 to, because a 5 is supposed to be maybe.
Yeah.
And double that is 100%.
No,
I do
no,
get
she
you. I
must
do
have.
get
She
what you're
must have.
saying.
So you might have put a 7, not a 6.
Yeah, but we're just doubling the scores.
Yeah, I know, but it's
I
doesn't
just feel like it was still been quite
voting
accurate.
something 1 to 5 is not equal to voting something 1 to 10.
If you treat 5 as the be all and end all, and you're treating 10 as the be all and end all, then why not?
Yeah, but then she's not gonna, because then there's no in the middle.
Yeah, but she did bare zeros, and that accounts for it, I guess.
So did you not do? Yeah, but she didn't do any in the middles because she didn't think she had the option to.
You must have done a few 2s or 3s.
I did 3s, 2s, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Bob's your uncle.
Yeah. But anyway, the fact of the matter is that the secure one was the highest. I feel
Right.
like that's why I was thinking it, because I was like, it doesn't
Me
matter
too.
as long as I see the
so
overall
we're all
score.
secure. How lovely.
Good.
Good to know.
Secure friendship.
Hey.
There we go.
You should have done that too.
Oh God.
Okay, right. I've got something to speak.
My granddad's voice noted me.
Oh, I'm gonna play it.
God, it's 14 seconds.
Oh,
He might have
go
not
on.
meant to do it. Go on.
Have you get a cookbook? Or did I give you your cookbook where you asked me to get?
Oh my god,
I
he's
love how he calls
adorable.
you D.
Oh, it's so
Does he do that
fun.
a lot?
He's never voice noted me before.
Does he call you Dish a lot?
Yeah.
Do you think he's done it by lifting it up and then not pressing it, or do you think he's held it down the whole time?
He's probably held it down the whole time, but he didn't know that it started
Of
recording. That's why
course,
he didn't
yeah,
speak
yeah.
till the 7th second. That is so
Oh.
funny. Oh, bless him.
Oh,
I don't know if I'm going to keep that in or not.
All right, cool. So to round off, we'll send it. Don't do it up to 5 like Jade did. We don't know why she did that.
Yeah.
Just do it up to 10 like
Please
you're
read
supposed
the
to.
instructions.
And we'll put it on the Insta for you
Yeah.
to do it.
Yeah.
All right? Okay. This is going to be hard because it's a visualization kind of thing,
Oh, God.
but with answers. But I can't say, because there's 2 of you, I can't say the answers to it until you've both done the
Right.
exercise. Okay?
Okay.
So, first thing is, randomly, clear your mind. Both of you, clear your mind. Stop. What are you doing, Keisha?
I'm just putting some rubbish in the bin.
Clear your mind. You
Clear.
too.
Close your eyes.
Don't have to. Whatever
Okay.
comes to your mind.
Right, Clay.
Okay. Say an animal.
Cheetah.
You say an animal.
Bear.
Okay. What are the 3 things you like most about the cheetah?
I love the cheetah girls.
I'm being serious. All right. If you're not going to be
Me
serious,
I'm
we're
being
gonna move on.
serious.
Cheese.
You can't say that.
No, whenever people
Characteristic
say
of an animal.
Whenever people say pick an animal, I always say cheetah, and it derives from me always loving the cheetah girls. Like, I never ever think about any other animal because that one is so imprinted in me because I thought I was Raven that I just would never say bird.
Okay, except the cheetah girls. What else is it about the cheetah that you like?
Probably let me pick a different one. Let me
Okay,
clear my
then.
mind again.
While you do that, I'll do
All right,
Jade.
because it just seems soft
You got
and
3.
cozy.
3. So first one, cozy.
Yes.
Second one?
And I think because they look cozy, it just seems kind and like
Kind. Third one?
sleepy and like lazy. Don't know if that's great. And
Laid
they
back,
just seem
relaxed.
caring. Like when I think of a bear, I think of its cubs are around, so it's just very like caring and
Lovely.
like nice.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to write this down. Bear for the first one and caring and all that. Right, yours, Kadisha. And please don't make it silly.
No, okay. I would pick a female lion.
Brilliant. Go on.
Ooh.
And
You're going to love... Go on.
the reason I'd pick a female lion is because, number one, they are well respected
Okay.
amongst their herd.
Yep.
And number 2, they are like nice to look at.
Okay.
And number 3, they are caring. Like they're the go-to person
They
to
are.
care for everybody else and look out for everybody else.
Love it. Okay, Jade,
Mm-hmm.
clear your minds again. Andrew, Kadisha, keep your mind clear the whole time.
Are you not participating?
No, I've already done this.
Oh, okay.
Second animal now. Think of another animal.
A fish.
Okay, say what you like about the fish.
I like the fact that they can go anywhere, do anything that they want.
So freedom and independence.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like the fact that they are of use.
Yeah, so practical.
Yeah. And I like the fact that they I think there's something they're interesting because it's like they can breathe underwater, like outside of water.
Multifaceted.
Yeah. It's just that it's interesting because we breathe outside and air, but take a fish out of water and it will die.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's very different to you, obviously, because you, like you just said, you're human.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
cool.
Oh God, I
thought-
feel like I'm being judged.
I thought of a swan just
Okay.
because it's elegant and it's like I think it's strong, like it's feisty.
Yeah.
And it's just beautiful.
Lovely. Okay. And now
They're
both
also
of you-
scary.
Yeah, but that's why they're feisty. You know what I mean? They're like
Okay,
strong.
girls, let's bring it back. Think of, I can't give you, like, all of this is all you, okay? So the only stimulation I'm going to give you is you're in a forest. Think of yourself in a forest.
Mm-hmm.
Now think of what the
now I
weather's
know what
like.
you're doing. Okay.
Think of what the weather's like.
It's night.
Think of, don't speak. Think of what's
Shut
in front
up.
of you. Think of what's behind you. Think of how you feel. Really, really visualize you in a forest. Whoever's done, tell me.
This is tricky because I've read like a few versions of like Red Riding Hood and stuff like that, like modern versions
Try
of
and
Red
get
Riding.
that
That's
out
what I
your
think
mind.
of.
Try and get that
But
out of your mind.
also have a
See, this
forest
is what I said
behind
with
my
cheetah
house.
girls.
So I think of me walking behind the forest in my house, but I need to think of like
Okay, and you
inside
can do that very
thought-wise.
silently while Kadisha shares.
Okay, so in my forest, it is a beautiful day.
Mm-hmm.
The sun is shining, but the sky is also very clear.
Mm-hmm.
There's very tall trees.
Mm-hmm.
The birds are making noise, but it's not like that annoying noise that you hear at 5:30 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a pleasant, stimulating sound, and the air smells very fresh. The ground is flat and steady, but not like hard.
What's it like in front of you?
So tall trees, but I can still see the sky like sort
Cool.
of through them. Behind me there is like a river, a flowing river, and it's like a really nice blue. You can see like the rocks underneath it and the little fishes, and What else did you
That's
say?
absolutely fine. You
Yeah,
exceeded
yours
my
is
bloody expectations from
very
Red Riding Hood over
detailed.
here. Yeah.
Yeah, so for me, it's at night time. It's a little bit cold, not too cold. There's crispy leaves on the floor. In front of me, I can see the moonlight shining through the trees and the stars in the sky. And behind me, there's no one around. It's just kind of dark.
How do you feel?
I feel like a little bit scared because if you're walking through the forest at night, but also very calm and just like liberated by being in nature and just like looking at the stars and just almost like calm.
Cool. Okay, now imagine similar thing. I can't give you much stimulant, but you are in a beach. You're in the water.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Okay. The sand is white and thin. It's not like that thick, grainy sand that you get at Southend. It's like really fine and thin. The water is, again, like a really light blue. You can see the fishes coming up. I'm not too deep in because I don't want to get carried away. I can't swim that well. I didn't finish my lessons. So I'm just deep enough so it's like maybe hip back to my hips. I look around and there is just palm trees, a couple of beach chairs.
And how do you feel?
The sun is like setting and I just feel peace and tranquil and like for the moment, everything is just lovely. Like I'm not thinking about tomorrow, yesterday, or what I've got to get back to when I leave this beautiful beach.
I feel like this exercise is a little bit tricky because everyone has like positive associations with the beach. You know what I mean, it'd been a hot day. But
Okay,
anyway.
well, let me make it a thing. Think of like water in general. You being in the water as well.
I'm just going to stick to what I thought of before. So mine was the same. It was like a really light, almost white sand. It was really thin. The water is like clear, bright blue. And I'm just in the shallow, like sitting down in the shallows or like laying down and just like feeling the water and just looking up and relaxing. And it's sunny. And it's
You're
nice.
in the water though, yeah?
Yeah, and it's like, yeah.
Okay, cool. Right. That surprised me what you've just said.
Oh.
That's fine.
What?
So this exercise is supposed to determine a few things, okay?
Mhm.
Now the first one is the animal you both said. And if you think that I'm saying what you think I'm saying, then tell me as soon as you know.
Okay.
So you said a bear.
No, I think this
The
is what you sent us earlier.
No, it's not.
Oh, the one with the
first-
videos.
It might be. I didn't look at it.
Oh.
The first animal is what you think you are.
Right.
So you said kind,
did I say?
caring and warm.
Oh.
And you said well respected, pretty and caring. And what I love is I said lion too.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's cute.
Of
I do
myself.
see you two
Yeah,
as
yeah, yeah.
lions.
No, as in like that was my first.
I thought you meant
one.
of me.
No. But yeah, now you say it. But I see myself as a lion too, which is funny because I didn't even think that. I was like, lion. Like that was my first, do you know what I mean?
Even lions still similar to cheetah, I guess.
Okay. Did you think this is what I'm
Did
saying?
you think man lion?
Is
though?
what I'm saying. What you think?
No, I just thought you were doing the thing you sent us earlier.
Okay, fine. That's fine. Right. Next one you think is the second animal is what you'd like to see in a partner, your ideal partner.
Oh God.
And
What
you
did I say?
said fish, which, if you look a bit deeper, freedom and independence,
Okay.
practical, interesting, multifaceted, and different to you.
Oh,
There we go.
okay.
You said a swan, elegant,
Yeah.
strong,
Mhm.
feisty, beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, what more can you ask for?
There we go.
Oh.
Okay.
I can't believe I asked for a fish in a man.
The next one, we'll look out next time we see him. The next one is meant to be how you feel like where you are in your life and how you're feeling about the future. Now that made sense.
Mm-hmm.
So you said beautiful, clear. Yeah, there's tall trees, but you can see the light through them.
Mm.
So really and truly, you know that you may not be there yet, but you're on your way and you're fine. Lovely surrounding, you were happy. The noise, the background noise was stimulating and good. You even use the word stimulating, which is good and blah, blah, blah. So you're on the right track. That shows how you feel. And for me, knowing you, I feel like that sounds pretty accurate.
Mm.
You said it's dark.
Oh God.
You're a little bit scared.
Yeah.
And blah, blah,
This is
blah.
probably
And
accurate.
exactly, it sounds
frightening.
quite accurate, especially after the last conversation we had last week.
It's
It
true.
sounds quite accurate. But you did say you're calm at the same time. You do feel liberated.
Yeah.
So you're not like in the shit funk, like, oh
Yeah,
my God.
no, I
You know,
feel
and you
calm
always
about
say
it.
everything happens for a reason, and
Yeah.
you know, blah, blah, blah. So that I thought that was agreeing. Now, the last one is about how you feel about death.
Oh,
So I
God.
expected yours to be off the scale, like, oh my, because some
Yeah.
people when you say that, they're like, yeah, I'm shitting it. I can't believe, like, when I did this on my retreat, someone, that's where I got it from, by the way. Someone was like, the same thing, like, it's a beach, blah, blah, blah. They were like, okay, yeah, I'm panicking, I'm in the beach.
But can they swim?
Yeah, they can swim, but
Oh.
it's just the associations. That's why this is a good one, because the associations of
Why would
water
you
with
panic
anyone
being at the
makes
beach?
you just
That's
panic.
strange.
But yours was thin, white sand, light blue, not too deep, peace and tranquil. And I feel like you
That
do
means
feel
I'm going
like
to
that.
heaven.
Yeah, you feel that about death, but you don't feel like that. So I was
No,
surprised. But maybe
yeah.
you do deep down somewhere.
No. Absolutely not.
My one. For
Do you know
me-
what I figured out? Sorry. I'm not actually scared of death.
Yeah, same.
Oh,
I'm
God.
scared of, what I'm scared of is,
Who you leave behind?
no.
This conversation is going to keep me up tonight.
What I'm scared of is being old and fragile and by myself.
Oh, I'm not scared of that.
Like,
either.
I'm scared of growing to be like 89 and I've got nobody around me and I can't
Be in the
like
care
make my own
home
cup
with
of
the
tea.
with the lads. Do you know
If
what I mean?
Care home
somebody
is
puts
big
me in
P,
there,
yeah. Care home's
if somebody puts
expensive.
me in there, I might be.
Save up for
Or-
yourself. I'm saving up
People
for
do
myself.
that.
Yeah.
That's
Do
what
they?
pensions
Pension
go on.
funds
Yeah.
and all that.
I suppose. I don't think I'll go to a care home, but I might go to like a shed.
Yeah.
Oh my God, like a community.
But
Well,
God,
they have,
God,
like-
God forbid, hopefully, like,
Yeah,
just, you know,
probably.
I might be 80 and my husband might die before me. Do you know what I mean? And then I'm just like, that's what frightens me. That period of life, that like post 70,
Oh.
that bit.
Have you
But
seen First
dying
Dates?
doesn't scare me. No.
Where that woman and she was like, my husband went when I was at like 40-something years and it was 40-something years too short. And my mum started crying.
Oh, God.
Do you know
That
what?
is
I've been
sad.
really emotional watching things lately, and I don't know what it means. But like, we watched Matilda the other day, and I started welling up.
Oh, what bit?
I can't even remember. It probably wasn't even a sad bit because that's not anything tear
I,
worthy.
don't know, I always cry at films because
But
I'm
like,
such an empath.
I'm not.
I'll be
I wasn't
like, oh my
crying,
God.
but my eyes started stinging like I wanted to,
Yeah.
and I keep watching things, and it's like something.
Maybe you need to go
wouldn't-
cry.
Yeah.
Oh, I really hate crying.
Exactly, that's probably why
Watch
you
The
need to go cry.
Notebook. That's the one that
Oh,
gets
God.
everyone.
No.
No.
Right, okay. Yeah, and when I did this,
Yeah.
my forest was dark, gloomy, scary. I was scared about
Oh.
behind me. I was really like, yeah.
Do you feel like that represents like the reality of how you feel?
At that time, it did, yeah.
Oh, okay.
When
But
did you
no.
do it?
My first retreat.
Oh.
I am in a general state of anxious. Like I always feel like I should be doing more. I'm not doing too much. I'm not doing enough. I'm not doing enough. I'm working on it.
Mm.
Hopefully
makes a lot of
2020 might be
sense.
different. But yeah, I'm always feeling like, yeah, I don't know what's to come. I don't know what's to come, blah, 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 blah.
Mm.
And another thing I remembered was one of the questions, which makes me sound like such a dickhead, but I don't mean it in that way, was when it was like for the secure and anxious was like, do you ever worry about not finding someone if you break
Oh
up
yeah,
with
that
who
was
with?
a question.
And I was like, one. And my boyfriend was like, he
believe you
put like 7 on it. And I was like, really? He was like, yeah.
Yeah, mine was quite high. Mine was like a 7 or 8.
Mine
for
would
that
be
one.
high because I could find someone, but is it someone I'm actually going to really like? I think
But that doesn't
finding
mean
someone
find,
good
does
is
it?
like.
It's because, do you know why? Because when you invest all your time with somebody, like I seen on Instagram, it was like the talking stage is so long. I don't want to tell anybody else how many siblings I've got. Do you know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
going through that conversation, get into that comfortable stage,
Yeah,
doing
it's
that. You
long.
might not find somebody that you feel that comfortable with again. So it's not about finding someone to come into your life because there's men everywhere.
Yeah.
But it's literally about having that connection with
Yeah.
somebody else.
But I think
Yeah.
you can have different connections with different people.
Yeah, but
but
it's
one
the
that you
connection that you're
actually
used
wanna
to
be
now
all
and
the
that you
time.
and that you would now yearn for because you're so used to it.
True. Yeah. But I just feel like the dating process can be quite fun.
You're just very mean.
don't know.
I haven't been in it for so long though.
I reckon.
That's why.
Yeah, I feel like things have changed since our young age.
Just like they said,
Literally.
just like they said in breakup when he's like, tell you what's happened. You've been inside too long. You've been a house cat, and now you've been kicked out, and you got to go and fight for your
Yeah.
pussy. And it's so true. I've been,
Grass
I've
is
been a
greener.
house
Once you're
cat.
single, you'll be
I've
like,
I've been a
oh
house
shit.
cat for too long.
Who said that?
And breakup. You need to
Oh.
watch it.
Okay.
It's a great film.
Yeah, I reckon the grass is like, well, not the grass is greener, but like it seems all cool. But once you're single, then you be like, oh fuck, you know what? I really got used to just like
Yeah,
not having
to fight
to deal
for my
with
meat.
this shit. Yeah. But you know,
Right. That was fun.
that
Thank
was
you.
good. I like that.
learned some stuff about myself
There we
today.
go.
It's so
Um,
interesting how like you can think something and like I can actually
Yeah.
say so
And
much
I
about
think
yourself.
your
Yeah.
both animals on both times was so on point.
I
Your-
still can't
one
believe
of
I was looking for a
yourself
fish.
and your partner.
I liked mine actually.
Yeah.
To be
Because
fair.
if you was to say to me, what kind of partner do you want? I wouldn't say I wanted to be like a fish.
Of
I
course
wouldn't
not,
say
but you wouldn't say
I
any
wouldn't-
animal.
But, yeah.
No, but I would probably
Ant,
say
lion.
like, yeah, or like a, not just a
Cheetah.
lion, or maybe like an elephant, or like, I don't know, something just big and masculine and like commands respect and all of these things, I wouldn't be thinking about a fish. It's just
Maybe
that
that's
really
what
threw
you've
me.
been missing out.
That's what I'm
then.
saying.
Maybe.
We need to
Where's the
approach
fishes
it.
at?
Come
Yeah,
on,
me.
fish come through.
Well, there's
Literally.
plenty fishes in the sea.
Oh! So good.
Okay, all right. Okay, let's go.
And on that
Shout
note,
outs.
Oh shit! Yeah, I forgot.
Okay.
Oh my god.
That's so funny. I would like to shout out this week the show Line of Duty.
Really?
Yeah, have you seen it? Okay, so
Is it like a police thing or something?
yeah, and I heard about it ages ago, and I'm really bad with series and stuff. Like I'll start something, and then if it's all there, I want to know that I have the commitment and dedication to sit and watch at least a good few at a time. So if I know that I can't do that, I will just avoid it. Like I still haven't watched How to Get Away with Murder. Maya mentions it to me at least twice a week. And
I don't know what you're playing.
I always tell her, get off my back. I'll watch it when I can.
Yeah, because you're wasting your time with Line of Duty and you could be on that.
Because
Just doing
I've
silliness.
already started Line of Duty. So I'd started it. So there's only 4 episodes in season 1 and I'd watched 2.5. But I watched those 2.5 about 4.5 months ago. So I think it was 3 days ago, I was like in bed and I just put it on and I was like, oh my God, this is really interesting. I can't
How's
believe
it
I've been
Murder?
sleeping on it. No,
Oh,
Line of
well,
Duty.
then I'm not
I was like, I can't believe I've been sleeping on it. So I've been binge watching it and now I'm like almost finished season 2, which has got a few more episodes than 4. And it's really good. I'm really into it. There's 4 seasons so far, I think. I'm watching it on Netflix, but it's a BBC show. So yeah, Line of Duty is mine.
I would like to shout out Crept from Crept and Conan.
Ah.
Because
I
met
do
him-
really like Crept, you know.
Yeah.
He's such a nice person. He's
That's
so
exactly what I was
humble.
about to say.
He's so friendly.
Do you want to do the shout out?
Yeah, I do. So I want to also shout out Crept and Stormzy.
Joking?
Yeah, no, I'm joking. I'm taking the piss.
Oh my
but
goodness.
I do. No, I'm not taking the piss about how nice he is. 'Cause
Oh,
he is
you've
really nice.
ruined it now. Don't worry. Just
Go on. Sorry.
okay. Yeah, exactly. I met Crept yesterday, and he was really, really sweet and really, really humble. And I just think it's really, really nice to not be a dickhead in real life because it
Yeah.
happens so much. Do you know what I mean?
And it
And
does
I
really
was sort of
happen so
I
much.
was sort of expecting it. Like I thought.
Why
that,
was
like,
you expecting it when I told you when I met him how nice he was?
Because I didn't remember that you said that. I just yeah, you have always said good things about him, but I just thought that like there's bare like women, not that women were being
you just
mad.
think the fame might get to someone's head.
Exactly. I just thought that he would just be a bit gassed. Do you know what I mean? And that,
Do you know why I think he probably is so nice? And
because he remembers where he comes from.
no, because he's got a girlfriend.
Oh, you think the girlfriend grounds him?
No.
Because
He must have been nice before then, though.
He's probably secure. Do you know what I mean? So he
Maybe.
doesn't need to be gassed by females because he's got a female
Yeah,
at
no,
home.
true. But that wasn't the only thing. Like even like to talk to someone he doesn't know.
Mm.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I was
yeah,
just
it's
like,
true.
yeah, congratulations on da-da-da-da. He wasn't like, yeah, he was like, oh, thank you, I appreciate it. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
yeah.
you don't have to be a wanker, and he wasn't,
Mm.
which is nice.
It's really nice.
I'm shouting out, I know you just said it, but I'm shouting out Stormzy. Obviously, everyone knows that recently, like, he was talking about how ITV, ITV said that he thought the whole of UK was racist, trying to twist his words. And he was just not backing down. Like, he was like, you know what, I'm not, like, they were like, oh, you're better than this. He was like, you know what, I'm not, like, what the hell are you guys on about? So he's just always standing up for, like, against racism, especially in the government as well. That could be so intimidating.
It's not even
And-
just racism. Sorry, I know this is your shout out.
No,
and I'm
again,
talking a
go
lot.
ahead,
I'm
go
so
ahead.
sorry, I don't know.
Your own, literally.
It's
We all
not
get
even
a
just
chance,
racism because
Kadisha.
I really do. That was actually going to be my shout out, but I also want you guys
Somehow
to watch
Line of
Line of
Duty
Duty.
took it.
But it's not just racism that he stands up for. He literally stands up for anything he
Yeah.
feels is wrong or right, which is
Yeah.
really nice.
Yeah, and just everything that he did for like helping scholarships for like black youth and everything. Like I just think that he's a very respectable guy. And yeah, that's my shout out.
Yeah, love Stormzy, Black King.
So thank you guys very much for listening.
Thank
and we
you.
hope you enjoyed.
Yes.
And we'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Bye
Bye.
guys.